Hey everyone, it's Brennan. Welcome to a very special edition of the weekly AI party. Joining me to my right, which is going to look left on the computer, is Tim Burton. Not that Tim Burton, but he's our newest software engineer hire, full stack engineer. He's largely responsible for the new beautiful UI that you guys have seen. So give him a warm round of applause wherever you're dialing in from. And then Kostas is here on the left. You guys are familiar, CEO, the father of Real Charlie and AI Charlie. And so today we wanted to have just a little bit more of a special session since we're here as a team together and talk with you guys about why Tim decided to join, some of the cool things that we're doing in the future, some of the things that we've been discussing while we're here. But more importantly, this is like a very open format, very casual. It's meant to be a fireside chat. There's a fire over there that you can't see. So it really is a fireside chat. But feel free to ask questions. Feel free to make any comments that you have. But we'll try to address those as we're going through here. But I'm going to start this a little interview style because I'm always curious. And I think I know the answer, but it's always fun to hear it said out loud. So Tim, where did you join us from? And why did you decide to join GoCharlie?
So I joined from actually the call center industry, and I actually was an Amazon partner. And what really sparked my curiosity is actually where AI could help solopreneurs and help people be more productive to grow their brand. And on top of that, I also have a golden retriever, so I gotta love the company. I mean. But I think the biggest thing is just where AI could go and where it could benefit people and build brands better.
Now, Tim, I know you interestingly have created an Instagram account to create images made by Charlie. So I'm curious, what is your favorite feature that we've released since you've joined?
I would say the one that I just always go back to is the image generation. It is just too much fun I'm a huge car person, and being able to combine different cars, being like, oh, this is a Corvette mixed with a BMW. I mean, like it's my wildest dreams. And I am an amateur car designer. I actually built a hardtop on my car, and I really wish I had Charlie before to kind of prototype it or pretotype it, if you will, just to kind of see what it would look like. I think I would probably change how I did product design. And I think it goes directly into another thing that's interesting is how AI can help product design and help see what products will look like without having to draft things that take weeks. I mean, that's a huge benefit.
Yeah, actually, I don't think I've ever asked you this, Kostas. What's your favorite feature?
Well, the current capabilities, I do love the multi-input to the multi-output.
Yeah.
Obviously, image generation is all-time favorite for almost everyone. Maybe it doesn't have the immediate business use case, but it's definitely one of the biggest wow factors, considering that our image generator is one of the top ones out there. But I love the ability where I can upload a file, multiple links, attach things to a prompt, and then I ask, hey, give me a blog, give me an email, give me 10 tweets, attach images to each tweet, and it's just one prompt, boom, it does everything in one go. I've not seen that anywhere, and I love the fact that we designed it that way.
Now, I know you are a fan of reading research papers. This is a safe space. Do you use Charlie to read the research papers first and let you know what's going on in there?
So, a dark secret of mine, I'm ashamed to say I do have a PhD in AI, and for a long time, I've kind of struggled to keep up with the AI research because the last 3 years, it's been exploding. Where I used to read like one paper a week, because only one paper a week came out, and now it's like you have 10 papers coming out every hour. So I usually just I take the PDF, I throw it into the prompts, and they say summarize the main points in bullet form, because I love bullet form more than any other kind of form, and that way I love it personally. I can keep up very fast now with what's happening.
Yeah, interestingly, I love the web research capabilities. I'm constantly finding new workflows. Like as the COO and like business development side, I'm also in charge of like legal and HR and all these other things that personally I haven't been responsible for in a previous life. And so I'm constantly asking Charlie, like, hey, could you summarize what I need to know about XYZ? And Charlie will go out to the web, turn that into tangible bullet points. I'll be like, okay, this sounds a little bit more complex. That can guide me to go talk to a relevant consultant. And so that's where I love what you said, Tim, is like the solopreneur part. I think we're going to see the first like solopreneur unicorn at some point in the future. And I think AI is going to be that enabler of it. So kind of looking towards that future, I know, Tim, we were just talking about this over coffee. Like, when do you think we're going to see this first solopreneur unicorn?
I would say the next 3 years. I mean, I think Gen Z is ambitious. I think they all want to start their own business. They all want to be their own boss. And I think AI is going to supercharge that to no end. And like how they use it, I think that's going to be the craziest part. I don't think they're going to use it how we think they're going to use it. Like I've found myself, at least for my own job, I have Charlie generate blog articles explaining things. So it helps me do my job without even having to look at blog articles on the internet. I have it so it's specific to what exactly I want. And I think that's a feature that I didn't even think that would be a thing.
You know, one thing that's always amazed me with Gen Z is like, and sorry to my SEO friends on the call, but is how little Gen Z understands about SEO. Like it's this very much important activity that businesses still need to do. And Gen Z is like, wait, I didn't even know about this. They think that marketing is just creating TikTok videos all the time. And so I really enjoy that we can go straight from that video source material and turn them into a multi-channel creator as part of that. And I think you're going to see more and more different examples of that. Like maybe you're good on one platform and AI will help you re-platform and create content for another one. It'll help you do sales on one platform and then ultimately change to another platform. And that's kind of what you built with the social media engine, is a way for each platform to have its own set of rules and its own understanding, tonality, and structure. So I'm curious, Kostas, with like what we've built so far, what are you most excited about in the next 3 to 6 months that we're building?
The thing I'm most excited about is our kind of our new direction. I wouldn't say a new direction, but because we've been playing this kind of in stealth for a while, but a new direction, I guess we're announcing it more publicly now, is going the route of becoming more of an agent, where Charlie is beginning to assist and even automate certain mundane tasks. And this is kind of being previewed now with the use of multiple tools in the background, where you can ask Charlie to do text generation, image generation, web search, web scraping, play with files, caption images, and so forth. But that is going to be dramatically become extended in 2 ways. The first is the use of more tools, especially tools that leave the platform, that say, hey, post this for me, or go to this website, log in. We're seeing a couple other tools from like Multion and Hyperwrite, which use GPT-4 to do this. But these are very buggy tools and they fail half the time. Where what we envision is basically almost kind of creating an operating system for you, where it goes out, and ideally we would plug in the tools, which will be very stable with Charlie, where they're not going to crash half the time. And it's okay, I need 10 blogs, optimize them for SEO. So it goes out, does a SERP analysis, optimizes the headers, the body, adds the backlinks. This may take a bit of a time. So we call this the proactive agent. So right now we kind of already do, I would say, quasi-optimized, SEO-optimized blogs, for instance, because Charlie does go out to Google, he does SERP analysis, but he does it as fast as possible. But ideally, we want everything to be perfectly optimized. So in the direction of going, becoming an agent, Charlie being your agent, we have what's called a proactive ability, which is coming pretty much in the next 6 months, which is he won't work in real time. Like he won't make a blog in 30 seconds and optimize it and post it in 30 seconds. But if you want to say, I need 10 blogs, bulk generation, I need them perfectly optimized, I need them, maybe posted, This is where it may take like 10, 15 minutes to do this. And in that time frame, Charlie's running in the background. So you don't have to keep your screen open. Charlie can then message you or ping you or notify you something I am done, look at the results, approve them if needed. This is kind of the direction where we want to take the company, which is even beyond the 6 months, the next 1 or 2 years. And this is kind of where all of AI will eventually head as well, is it's truly assisting you. It's not just this chat where you just ask one thing, get one thing. It's actually doing things for you. It's going to the browser. It's going to your different software. It's going to your different platforms. It's executing tasks, multiple complex tasks. Now, long term, who knows where this can go? Personally, I do envision a world of virtual employees where you just hire an agent very cheap and it does very mundane, boring tasks. Like, for example, there's a lot of analysts out there whose only task is to go to RSS feeds, look at articles, and kind of summarize them. And now we're augmenting this with like text summarization. In the future, you just tell an agent, look, I need you to go to these websites, spend every day looking at the new articles and summarizing them, and then writing an email newsletter, for example, which he could do instantly. So you don't really need to hire someone for that. Anyway, that's kind of a preview of where we're heading, and where I think all of AI will head eventually. But that's what excites me the most.
So it sounds like we'll be able to take Charlie on a walk
Pretty much.
in the not so distant future, which is actually an iteration of this weekly meeting I've been considering. It's just like a Facebook Live on a walk talking about Charlie and where we're going. So maybe we'll work that in so that we can work off some of this founder weight that we've strategically hidden with this camera angle. So Tim, I know you joined in June and honestly hit the ground running, just crushed it, released a new product, constantly experimenting, adding new capabilities, adding new ways that we can, that the user can understand how to extract value and ultimately get to their end result quicker. I'm curious, given where you came from, what were some of the unexpected challenges in designing products for AI? Because I think that building your own AI is one thing, productizing it is a whole separate thing, and then making the UI do what you expect it to do in light of the random nature of this AI is a whole nother layer of complexity that I don't think other tech startups have. So I'm curious, what were some of the things coming in that were unexpected?
I think the biggest thing is the nuances of individual platforms. So one of the things that is very difficult with a publicly facing application is all the different browsers, versions of browsers, and regions of the world that you got to account for. And I think that's a challenge that was difficult. But I think where my expertise I'm excited to implement is the multi-channel opportunity. So like having a channel that we can throw up for being able to text Charlie. That would be super cool. I love that idea. I love the idea of being able to call Charlie and having more of a conversational opportunity there. Or having it a built-in Slack bot that you can interact with Charlie, and he could be in a group chat and he kind of adds value there where he is almost acting as a consultant, which would be really cool. And that's what really gets me excited about where I come from and where Charlie's could go. Yeah,
I think having Charlie available in a bunch of different channels is definitely exciting for me. Like I can't tell you how many times I've wanted to like just shoot an email to Charlie and have him respond to it. So I love some of the experimentation we've been doing there. I think it's weird that we're going to have a talking dog. Like that's a wild concept. It feels like every Pixar character or like science fiction character of all time is now becoming alive because of AI. So I know some of the things that I'm super excited about. Definitely the extension that you've been working on. I think giving Charlie legs outside the platform is really going to open up a lot for our users. Kostas, I'm curious more on like a broader scale. I know you and I have discussed this quite at length. We both kind of think that the current AI doomerism is a little overblown. I think we both agree that the under talked about part is the rate of transformation that's happening because of AI, and just the lack of discussion of safety nets. So let's zoom out 10 years in the future, and let's say that AI has taken over most of the software related tasks that don't require some of the most particular skills. Like, what do you think would be successful things that people should focus on in terms of skills to remain relevant in this AI enabled age?
That's a good question, and I kind of give this advice to a lot of college students now too. Is that do not become fully dependent purely on the computer. Do something that requires either your hands or do something that requires socialization, human to human interaction. So like for marketers, like I know a lot of marketers use our platform is like to maintain yourself relevant and to even ensure that you guys have jobs in the next 5-10 years. As we get better and as the industry gets better and better, is that make sure you have a component that requires human interaction, that you get to talk to customers or clients and their customers. Make sure that maybe you have a physical component where you create some sort of handwritten notes. It's hard to say, but anything that requires purely the use of a computer 10 years from now is an extreme danger of either being fully automated or only the top tier marketers or programmers or professionals in their fields will be competitive. Because with the assistance of AI, there's almost nothing that AI can't do that a professional person on a computer can do. Yeah. So basically, use your hands, people, and be social. And this is something that I think with the rise of the internet from 30 years ago, we saw instead of becoming more and more social with Google and with Facebook and social media, we became more anti-social. So I think AI in a good way is going to force us to actually become more pro-social, mostly because we will need it for jobs. Because actually Tim and I, yesterday we were walking in town, we went to this tea shop, and the tea shop owner was asking us, like, I would love for AI to kind of automate mundane tasks like accounting and some basic marketing. But she asked us, like, am I in danger of losing my job in 10 years from now? And we said no, because like cute little stores or cute businesses or anything that requires human-to-human interaction, whether even if it's on Zoom, is always going to be needed. So influencers, waiters, anything that's requires you basically and not just your skills, that's not in danger. So that's a positive aspect. But everything else, I would argue, is going to be up for grabs by AI. And for that reason, people need to start building up new types of skills, especially the younger generations, which are very tech savvy and social savvy, but they're not really, in my opinion, they don't really see where this is heading. And most people don't really see where this is heading, but I think a lot of people will be safe.
Yeah, I think what's going to be really interesting is what jobs evolve out of AI, because like we saw from the internet that there was jobs created from the internet.com boom, and I'm sure there's going to be entirely different categories of jobs created from AI that we can't even predict. And I think that's what sparks my curiosity.
That's where I'm a little different, but these are my opinions, not maybe of the company itself. That because I see now, again, like AI, where Charlie is, or ChatGPT is, and other tech is right now, you may say, "Oh, well, it's good to assist me." But if you go back, 1, 2, 3 years ago, a lot of this tech did not exist, or its quality was like really, really bad. So if you compare how fast the quality is getting better and better, its ability to do more things, more complex things, especially as it starts to require decision making, as it requires more planning and reasoning abilities, more cognitive abilities that we thought were unique to us. That's where I see a future where it's going to be, at first, yes, I think 5 years from now, there will be many new jobs. But if you argue, okay, 10, 15 years from now, where's going to be the labor force? That's where I think things get a bit dangerous. Because I really don't see any limitations of AI when it comes to things being digital.
Now, I love your point that I think AI is going to create new jobs. It's something I think about a lot, just generally speaking, because our tool is designed to help you do things faster, better, at a price that is very accessible. And I think we're kind of in that wave of AI where it's like, how do we do these things we already do faster? But I think there's going to be a wave beyond that where it's what's now possible because of AI. I think we're starting to see some of these things evolve. But I'm curious, do you have any thoughts in that particular area about like what is now possible that wasn't possible previously?
There's one huge net positive that I see, which is AI really breaks down barriers where a lot of businesses struggle to do marketing, struggle to do copywriting, struggle to do sales, either because they lack the knowledge, they lack the skills, and many of them would fail because of that. Now with AI, it's greatly assisting them. Because the SOP owner from yesterday, the T-SOP, he's like, I maybe do one tweet a day, but if I had an AI that studied the trends and could just study my business and just make me Facebook posts, ads, images, that would greatly boost my business. And that's where I see a massive net positive of this tech.
Yeah, something I was thinking about as you were saying that is, we watched a South Park episode about this actually earlier this week. So I would love AI systems to be constructed in such a way that they're bringing the user along. Like let's take this to agency land, right? When you go hire a marketing agency, oftentimes you're just like, you guys go do it, figure it out. You're the experts and you kind of trust them based off of that. But I think I do have a concern with, as AI gets better and better, people would just be like, you go do it, and they won't learn it themselves, and then they don't know their own business. I don't think that's any different than using an agency, but I'm curious, do you see AI systems being able to teach us as well? Or do you think it's going to be people are just lazy and they say, go do it?
No, I think, because I have a lot of friends who are contractors, handymen, and they say like, we know a little bit of everything, but we're not experts in every field of construction, for example. And when we have so many different types of jobs, they actually use GoCharlie. They ask them, can you look at local laws? I'm building something. Or can you look at how to do something unique? And it immediately gave them a huge boost in their job.
Yeah.
And then that was kind of an application that I didn't even initially think about our platform. Like, holy shit. It's like these guys are now amplifying their skills, their knowledge to improve, do more jobs, get more customers, and do more things, where if it was not for AI, they would still be kind of stuck at the ground floor.
Yeah.
I think the answer to your question is, will people still have curiosity? Because I think that's the biggest thing. And at least where I come from, I am constantly curious about new things, how things work, how to improve things. I feel like that's going to be the big decision maker, is like, if people are still curious about how things work, they're going to want to know how what's behind the curtain. And I think that's huge. And AI can distill all that information very well. And it goes directly to what I was talking about, where if I don't know how to do something in my job, I have Charlie write a blog article for me, and I read it and I execute my job. It augments my job, and it's awesome.
Yeah. And I think that very question is particularly hard to solve in a UI, right? Like, I think one of the things we talk about the most as a team is, how do we build trust and reliability such that this new wave of like autonomous agents and new technologies that can take over more of the workflow become reliable? Ultimately, it's a problem of trust, right? Trust as a software attribute is something I hadn't really thought about until now. But like you were saying, that curiosity, there's going to be people that are curious, there's going to be people that aren't and are just focused on results. But I think we're going to have to build that breadcrumb and that observability for them to ultimately be able to see, hey, this is how I was thinking about this problem you gave me, and I did X, Y, Z to go do it.
I think what says a lot is like the growth of documentaries. People want to know how it works.
Yeah.
And the fact that there's so many documentaries out there right now, I think that shows that people have the curiosity, which I love.
What documentary did you just watch?
I've been watching a lot of startup documentaries.
Okay.
Are you surprised?
Was it super pumped?
It was super pumped.
You were trying to figure out who I was before you met me, type thing.
Mm-hmm.
I've secretly been hoping that they do a SoftBank multiverse for the Vision Fund, because I feel like the stories will just write themselves. So if anyone out there is a screenwriter and wants to get into it, let's go. That would be a lot of fun, I'm sure. So, Kostas, I'm curious. This is a very curveball question for you, but many people don't know that you are a father, and taking on fatherhood and entrepreneurship at the same time. I find it hard enough to take care of myself and a company, much less what you're doing. So I'm curious, have you seen any parallels between bringing a kid into the world and bringing a company into the world? And any advice for any parent listeners we have out there?
So there are a lot of parallels. Obviously, both require extreme dedication.
Yeah.
And that's where, my I guess PhD student mentality went away very fast. Where, PhDs are very hard to do, as with any degree, but it was a little laid back. Now, being a parent, it's full responsibility. You cannot drop the ball at all. You have to be constantly on top of the baby, making sure they're safe, making sure they're fed, they're taken care of, and make sure that they're also loved and that they can feel your love. Same thing with a startup. You guys need to feel my love.
Yeah.
I need to make sure you guys are taken care of. You guys are fed, metaphorically, of course. And that's where I see the most successful startups are the ones whose members, whose founders, and the team itself dedicates themselves in a way as if the company, metaphorically again, is kind of like a baby, where they have to really make sure that everything at all times is working, that they can't drop the ball. And because I've seen a lot of startups fail in the past because the members just didn't take things seriously. They gave it minimum efforts, few hours, didn't listen to customers, didn't keep up with technology or innovation, and it just faltered because they thought, I could just do the bare minimum, and I'll get rich. But yeah, I do see a lot of good parallels, and for all the other aspiring parents and entrepreneurs out there, I would argue, if you want to push yourself to the limits, do both.
I'm curious, have you had Charlie answer any questions about parenting for you?
Not yet.
Okay. Charlie, the parent advisor, coming soon. I don't know. I've rethought my stance on children after starting this whole thing, because it's not something you can turn off, but it's also one of the most rewarding experiences that you can have. And to that point, I think, kind of bringing what you said about solopreneurs and what you were saying about parenthood, like one of our early demographic wins was like moms that wanted to be able to work with their children, or be at home with their children, but also be able to work, empower a career, empower a financial income, so that they could be their own person. And I think that's exactly what we're trying to build, is like, we want to be the enabler of the lifestyle that you want to lead. And we even had a customer here say that AI should be freeing up our time to be more human.
Yeah.
That's the most eloquent way I've heard it said, because like at the end of the day, do we all want to be working all the time? No, I think you ask the majority of people, they're going to say, I'm working to get paid so that I can do X, Y, and Z. And I think that's kind of the note we'll sort of end this discussion on, is like, we're building that AI tool to enable you, make your life easier, and ultimately let you pursue the dreams and the person that you want to be. I think that's always been our philosophy with our products that we build. It's never been a let's get rid of you. It's always a how do we enable you to be the version of yourself that you want to be with our products.
I think what's really interesting on that is the opportunity of allowing people to do what they love too. So allowing somebody to quit a job that they don't like and start a company that is something that they're passionate about. It's relevant to like something that they love. I think that is like my optimistic view.
What's something you love, Tim?
I love cars. I love product design. I mean, like I said, I think my biggest thing is car design. I think that would be really cool, and I feel like Charlie's already helped me out doing that.
Yeah. It's I have like 4 or 5 ideas for a business that I've already been playing with Charlie to kind of bring to fruition. Don't worry, they will not be coming to fruition until a much later stage of Charlie's training. But thank you everyone for joining in. This was awesome. I think we'll definitely do more of these where we get to chat in person, especially when we're together in person. But those of you that are watching after the fact, if you have questions, feel free to share them, comment them, subscribe to the YouTube channel so that you can follow along with more updates that we're doing. There's a whole suite of new capabilities coming before the end of the year, so make sure that you're staying tuned for that. And with that, we'll call it a day. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you all soon.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.